Entering the Mayo Experience.
Mayo Experience. Mayo Experience. Mayo Experience. Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience, Week 11, Sunday, live. We got some rankings updates, some spreads, some DraftKings picks, plus all the injuries, your viewer questions, starting at 10:25 a.m. Eastern Time. So if you put them in before that, I'm going to answer them. Unless they're right off the top, I suppose. But those ones are already in, because that's what we do on this show. If you want to get into a draw for $20 DK dollars, easy way to do so, like every Sunday, smash the like button for this episode. Leave your DraftKings handle in the comment section. Good thing I got my coffee with me this morning. Yeah, it's Sunday. It's tough. And then tell me who the slate breaker is going to be in the Week 11 DraftKings Millionaire Maker. As always, this show, at least the first hour, will be available up on Apple, Stitcher, Spotify, the audio podcast for the Pat Mayo Experience around 10:35 a.m. Eastern Time. No viewer cues in there because, of course, it would not be live if it was in there. If you leave a 5-star review on the audio podcast, your DraftKings handle, and something you like about the show, boom, you're in a draw for $20 DK dollars as well. If you're looking for the updated rankings, the updated cheat sheets, all the shows, hit the description of this video or podcast. You can find all of the links in there right now. Also, there are a few spots left in the Pat Mayo Experience DraftKings Listeners League for the week. I think there's like 30 or so. If you want one, hit the description of the video or podcast. Hit the link, spend your $15 or up to $45. Really, it's 3 max entry. No rake, best tournament on DraftKings. I'll see ya in there. Garion Thorne is in the studio with me. What's up?
Hello. We're talking for a long time.
I may have talked for like 40 seconds.
I don't know. Seemed long.
You just weren't paying attention.
Yeah, mostly.
Classic.
Making lineups.
Classic Garion.
Might get into this viewer contest. I've never actually played in the Pat Mayo Experience.
You don't
NFL
play in
contest.
the best. You win some money on basketball last night, and you're like, oh, I'm up in my game. Going to play in the best tournament on DraftKings.
Gotta be better. Gotta be better.
All right, so here are 5 questions off the top. Ready?
Yeah.
Fade Debo for Bourne, who is getting Patrick Peterson in DFS.
I probably wouldn't. I feel like Bourne is highly utilized in the red zone, but can't catch. Seems like an issue.
He caught a touchdown last week.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Not all
Listen,
he can.
I'm not huge on Debo anyway.
Yeah, I don't think you need to use either, honestly.
No, but if you want to use one, I guess Bourne would probably be the more likely option, as Debo is going to be super chalky. Better pick up rest of the season right now and for this week. Geis, Damian Williams, or Brian Hill? It's got to be Damian Williams, right?
Damian Williams.
He's dealing with like a personal issue. I don't know.
Yeah, but he traveled with the team.
With the
He's
team to
supposed
Mexico.
play.
Okay, so we're good there.
Yeah, he's the only one who I could. I mean, look, that running back situation changes a lot, but he's probably going to be the starter 2 weeks from now, which is more than I can say for either of those guys.
Yeah. Would you play an injured Emmanuel Sanders or Ronald Jones in a horrible matchup? I think you got to play Ronald Jones because we don't know if Sanders is playing or not.
Yeah,
And he doesn't play, but he also doesn't play until later.
Yeah.
So just play the guy who's going to play.
If he's active, he's not going to be 100%. I think Ronald Jones proved what he's about last week.
Would you play James White or Brian Hill?
Hill.
They play Hill as well. It's a lot closer than I think people think, though.
Sure. It's a James White script.
Yep.
As someone will tell you, every week is a James White script.
Last of the first 5, need 1 running back and 1 flex for this week. David Montgomery, Colonel Mostert, David Johnson, Chris Kirk, and Hollywood Brown. Kirk is your flex.
Yep.
The running back, I guess David Montgomery. I don't like it, but
Yeah.
what are you going to do?
It is
Do you really want to
Montgomery.
play David Johnson? No.
Not really.
You want to play Colonel Mostert?
No.
It's not horrible. Like, he's a better DraftKings
Sure.
player than season-long play.
He'll probably get about 10 carries.
Yeah, he's like 3,300 or something on DraftKings. That makes a lot more sense. Hollywood Brown's tough in this matchup. It's a great matchup. I'd just still rather go with Kirk.
Yeah, look, you can pass all over the Texans. There's never going to be volume in that passing game. He needs to break something off, which is highly possible, but I just think Kirk's a better play.
All right. Remember, everyone out there, smash that like button. Share the show around on whatever social medias you're watching this on, whether it be the Facebooks, the Twitters. I guess this isn't live on Instagram, but it's also on YouTube, too. So share it around. Tell a friend. Introducing the 3rd member of the team behind the camera, Super Bills fan, Paul Shaughnessy. And now the 4th member of the team, you know him best as Tim Undergust.
Tim Undergust.
That is not my name.
Heard it was.
No, you didn't.
I did. DeGarion, you can comment on this. Did you hear that?
That's what the streets are saying.
Garion here that I won a poll on Twitter this last night because I did.
I saw this poll. I voted in this poll.
I voted for what, but as someone pointed out, who is Tim going against in this poll?
Yeah.
You had told me I could never win a poll, and I've never won a poll.
Yeah,
Well, you know,
you won a
I
poll
have.
about something that you can't change.
Landslide.
It's like, hey, let's go back to the year 2000. How would you prefer your
Can
sandwich
change it,
cut?
just like when they got rid of classic Coke, and then the fans revolted, and they brought it back. Despite all the effort and money that Coke put into new Coke, the fan revolt was such that they brought it back. You tell me that we can't bring back the Subway cut the old way? What a give up approach that is. People demand.
I worry about you, Tim.
Well, here's two things on Tim's poll. Yes, the subs are better cut the old way. We know that. But they haven't existed since 2005, so they're not coming back. But the most common comment on Tim's poll is Subway fucking sucks.
That's also
Like,
true.
people just don't care.
Should be considered. Yeah.
There were
So-
hundreds upon hundreds of votes and maybe a dozen comments. So, I mean, again, I think you're misappropriating.
What was the only comment? One was, what the hell is the old way? The other one is Subway sucks.
Another
That
one
was the old way.
Another one was depends on which sub, Top Cat.
Was that from your burner account?
Oh,
I
God.
don't have burner accounts.
We all know you
Anyway, I
have
wanted to-
burner accounts.
Wanted to underscore the fact that I was right and got a poll right. And that is
But you weren't right against anyone. You weren't facing anyone in a poll. No one contested this.
Don't steal my glory.
All right.
Stop it.
Running backs, injuries for the week. I have likely as in right now, and you can update me in case something has changed from the news desk, Garion Thorne.
Yes, the news desk.
Darius Don Geis is going to play this week. David Mock. Do you think that
He's gonna do nothing?
Do you think that he's going to score a touchdown against the Jets and just point to the crowd and say, "This is for you, Don Geis"?
Really
He's not
hope
going to
so.
score. No one on that team is going to score.
Yeah,
There
Tim
isn't a
is
single
pretty-
Oh, yeah,
Redskin.
I wonder what if this is an Adrian Peterson week or not.
It's not. There's not a single
Yeah.
Redskin that's ownable. McLaurin is unplayable this week.
Oh, I like to hear that. I think I have him in every DraftKings lineup.
Well, then you might as well just donate that money to to a charity because you're giving it away as it is.
I mean, is the charity you? We're playing in a contest together. I'm using Scorin McLaurin this week.
Yeah, so your entry is dead money in the pool, which is great. That means that,
Perfect.
I don't have to worry as much.
David Montgomery has this ankle injury. It does look like he's going to play, though. They did sign, who's this jabroni they signed or are now playing? Davis was tweeting about him, so you know he's probably not good.
Well, I mean, all week it seemed like, we had reports that Drake was running with the first
Ryan
team.
Null.
Null. Nollins.
So, yeah, in a situation where David Montgomery doesn't play in the Sunday night game, it would be Tariq Cohen and Ryan Null.
It's real.
Sounds
Bears
good.
Sounding running back.
Yeah. I would just
Team
expect-
preseason.
What, he's part of team preseason?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
All the more reason not to want him.
Jay Ajayi is going to get some run in this Eagles-Patriots game. He was just signed off the street by the Eagles. It doesn't look like Jordan Howard is going to play, which means Miles Sanders and Boston Scott are going to be the 1 and 2. You think Boston Scott gets utilized in like the Jordan Howard type role here? Because
Probably not to the extent that Jordan Howard was, but
He's
I
the-
think he gets work. I think all three of them get
he's
work.
$3,000 on DraftKings. I don't want to use him.
I really don't want to use him either.
Now that Howard is expected to be out, Miles Sanders was building up some momentum throughout the week at $4,100.
hot mo?
A good mo on.
Interesting.
Would you rather use chalky Brian Hill or potentially chalky Miles Sanders? And do you think one Sanders takes away ownership from Brian Hill?
I would hope so, because I'd much rather use Brian Hill.
I don't want to use either of them, but that's
Well,
me.
between the two, which is the question you asked me.
Yes, Brian
I
Hill.
would rather use Brian Hill.
But do you think that is a $700 difference?
$600.
It's a lot you can do with that
482.
$600. Here, let me throw this wrench into the situation.
Kalen Balaj?
I'm trying to think. Who were the guys who threw the wrenches in Mario? It wasn't the Hammer Brothers. In Mario 3, there's people who threw
Oh,
wrenches.
who is it that throws? Is it Lakachu who throws them?
Maybe. That's what I'm doing. I'm Wrench Man from Super Mario 3. Duke Johnson, $4,000.
I don't hate it. Just getting a piece of that game seems like a good idea.
Well, we discussed this before the show started that I have such little exposure to that game, despite the fact that it has all the good fantasy players in it. Like, I can't figure out who I want. Hopkins seems like the best bet, I
Yeah.
would think, besides the quarterbacks, obviously.
Yes. Sure.
And no one's using him this week. Did you
His name
use
is
I did use Hopkins.
His name is Rocky Wrench.
Rocky Wrench?
Rocky
That's
Wrench.
his name. I went on Super Mario Brothers Wiki, which is a thing apparently, and
Why are you surprised that's a thing? Like
just wouldn't have guessed it. That's all.
the
Wait.
men-
Were you not aware that
Everything-
individual pop culture Phenomena had their own
There are two
Wikipedia page.
wikis, regular Wikipedia and SAS Wiki.
Well, we all know about SAS Wiki.
Well, again, see, that's what
And
you
that
should...
no one knows about SAS Wiki.
Yes, but that's, I mean, it's gone off the internet now. It's been scrubbed. But if you're going to use something like, instead of focusing on Subway sandwiches and getting the old cut back, you should just be doing polls and galvanizing the people together, using your platform to get SAS Wiki back.
That would be great. Who wouldn't want that?
I don't know. I don't know who wouldn't want it. I agree with you. So,
Yeah.
so is the move just don't use any of these Eagles running backs? Sanders if you have to kind of thing?
I think so. I think we're back to mostly ignoring these guys. Look, Sanders has the potential to break off a big play, and that's kind of what you need from one of these guys, because I don't think we're looking at someone having like an overwhelming volume share compared to the other two. But
Oh,
yeah,
Brian
it's just-
Stewart did make that birdie.
it's a real bad matchup.
My God, this is nerdy.
What?
This
Yo,
essay-
Really? You
this
think
Mario Brothers Wiki.
Super Mario Brothers Wiki is nerdy? Really? I
Fascinating.
find that hard to believe.
Fascinating.
I could be consumed in this for hours.
You know, like everything you've ever liked has its own wiki. The Venture Brothers has its own wiki.
Does it really?
Yeah, everything does.
And don't think it's just that it has a Wikipedia page. It literally has its own Wikipedia.
That's wild.
Like this show might have its own wiki.
Possible.
It's out there. Anyway, Ty Johnson cleared concussion protocol.
Good for him.
Originally, a guy I had liked J.D. McKissick if Johnson was going to not play, being 7-point dogs against the Cowboys, a lot of passing upside. He might still get there. It's just I don't think you can use him anymore. Is the problem? He's probably the best of the Lions backs, McKissick. That is,
but it seemed like when both were healthy, we got a very sort of 35, 30, 25,
Yeah, Paul
5
Perkins.
split. Not great.
Yeah.
I mean, Perkins isn't there anymore, which is nice. but
Perkins is cut.
I think he got cut literally the week after.
No, he's back. He got put
Is
on
he?
the practice squad, then he got put back because
Oh, good for him.
Because Ty Johnson got hurt.
The elevator. Sweet.
Gio Bernard looks like he's going to play with the knee injury. Likely out Jordan Howard, Jordan Wilkins, and Matt Breida. Hence why people were thinking about playing Colonel Mostert. But he's also banged up. He's
Also
going to
a great
play.
name.
But everyone's just hurt on San Francisco right now. Out.
Well, the thing you have to think about with San Francisco, too, is the last time we saw one of the main two running backs get hurt, that not only means that Mostert becomes viable, it means that Jeff Wilson Jr., the Vulture, is going to also be active in this game.
But are we not more concerned about Jeff Wilson now that world's best player, Kyle Juszczyk, is back?
I mean, he was vulturing while Juszczyk was playing in the first
I suppose
5
that's
weeks
true.
of the season. Just something to think about.
Okay. Not going to be active today. Darren Sproles, Mike Davis, who's now on Carolina, but he will not play. Devonta Freeman, Chase Edmonds, and Chris Thompson with his toe injury. You think Geis will at least assume like a Wendell Smallwood type role?
I think his role will be bigger than that.
He's a
honestly.
battering ram type of back. Like, I don't think so.
I think,
Do we know what kind of
look,
back he
nothing,
is really?
Nothing has changed about how Washington and Bill Callahan has run this offense since he took over. They're going to run the ball 55 to 60% of the time, regardless of what the score is. This game will only be on television until 3:30, which is nice for Tim. He can
That
watch
should be a
some real
problem.
football.
What time will the Redskins game end on Sunday? Over, under 4:45 Atlantic time. And you should always take the under.
I mean, you confused me with your
Yeah, I don't
strange
know what,
time
I don't know
zones,
what
but
time zone he's talking about here. This is very confusing stuff.
I just think we're in a situation where I could see Geis probably getting 10 carries. Peterson probably still 15. But the Jets have the best adjusted line yards defense in the NFL. So it's just a terrible matchup, really, across the board. Which is why you play McLaurin.
Apparently, it's not going out to Facebook or Twitter. I don't know why.
Oh.
Yes, Paul.
Sorry,
No,
what?
that's on my end.
Oh, I see. You were talking about the Texans versus Ravens. With
Yeah.
Will Fuller out. Why don't we just go back to Stills to pay the bills?
I can see it.
4,600 on DraftKings.
We also hadn't got to receivers yet, Paul.
yeah.
Paul's busy.
He's got a lot on his mind.
When you think about Kenny Stills, I think if I'm going to go there for his price, I'd probably like to play someone like Dede instead. I know Tim likes Auden Tate. I like Auden Tate as well. And Duke Johnson's probably the one that I want to use from there.
Yeah. Again, the nice thing about Duke is, like you said, the most obvious, aside from DeAndre, the most obvious way you want to attack that game is by getting one of the two quarterbacks. And Duke pairs well. He's one of the running backs that is correlated to his quarterback. So it's a nice sort of strange stack and maybe a way to vary your DeAndre stack by adding someone like Duke Johnson. Although I guess not a lot of people are just paying for DeAndre anyway.
I wouldn't.
Joke's on them.
Why-
Should be doing it.
Why wouldn't you?
I just think he's too pricey. And in a week where, I have to set $10,500 aside for McCaffrey, I have to start penny pinching, and it's really hard for me to afford him at his price point. I'm sorry, I just can't afford to put.
I know you said you like Ross Dwelly. You said you like Auden Tate. I mean, there's a bunch of.
I do, but I've got a stack, and my stack kind of cost me more than I'd like it to, and so you put it all together.
Can we dive into your stack?
Well, you can, I suppose.
Let's hear about it.
I'm stacking Patriots today.
Oh, see, Tim and I
Brady-
are far too much on the same page here this week. I don't like this.
Brady, White, and Edelman are my three Patriots. This is the James White game, but I mean, every game is a James White game, to be fair. Anytime he's below $6,000, he's a free space in bingo to put on your card. So he is, so you should. Edelman is one of their few legit pass catching options. So at 7,600, in what world would I spend more money on Cooper or Hopkins than I would on Edelman in this spot? I can't even fathom it. To be frank, I'd definitely rather have him than Michael Thomas too, who I think is outrageously priced in a game. I don't expect him to return close to that value. So I think Edelman's one of the best values on the board, even though he's expensive, $7,600. If you look at the price pointage around him, I think he's an absolute steal. And then Brady, you just connect him because you need yourself a stack. And I'm just not going to pay up for Jackson or Watson or Breeze. So, and Garoppolo's unplayable because he doesn't have anybody who can catch the ball. So unless you love Josh Allen this week, which I do not, I think Brady's a nice little play. Plus, you get a bunch of 5 o'clock players. And last week, I made the mistake of stacking 2 o'clock guys, and that sucked.
Well, there's only 3 games this week as a part of the late slate. It's if you are looking to late swap, it's Cardinals, Niners, Bengals, Raiders, and Patriots and Eagles. What are you doing with that Bengals and Raiders game? Josh Jacobs appears to be incredibly chalky. Makes a ton of sense.
Yep.
Do you want to use like Derek Carr and Waller and Renfro and Tyrell Williams and those guys?
I have Williams.
You have who?
Williams. I like Williams this week.
I think you
How
can.
are you affording all these guys?
Because I have Tate and Dwelly and Ted Ginn in my lineup.
Ted Ginn
on the road.
It's a Ted Ginn game. This is going to be a high-scoring game. So, in the type of games you want them.
I think you can. I think you're free to use as many Raiders skill position players as you want. The problem with Carr, I just think, while he's in a nice spot, we've seen what Carr's ceiling is, and it's 275 yards, maybe 3 touchdowns. He's just not going to break the slate, and I think there's so many ways to utilize quarterback. Again, you could spend up.
Garion only wants slate breakers on his team.
Well, I'd like to win the slate.
Yeah,
that's
if you're
kind of
trying
the
to win,
point.
that's what you want.
We're not talking about 50-50s right now. We'll get to Tim's 50-50 corner in a second.
He doesn't know the difference. He's just going to use the same lineups.
No, I just think you can use Brady. You can pay up for Lamar. You can pay up for Deshaun. You can pay for Ryan Finley. You can pay for who's your boy in Driscoll Mania. Like I just paying for Carr seems like a punt. I don't know. I just it's not something that really entices me.
All right, so receiver injuries we're looking at right now. Do we think that N'Keal Harry is going to play tonight?
Even if he does, I don't think he's going to be.
No, I'm just curious if he's going to be active or not.
I haven't seen anything, but I can look into it.
Dede should play. Marquise Lee should play. Tyler Boyd, Tim Patrick, and Josh Doxson are returning from injured reserve in that Broncos and Vikings game on both sides of the ball. And Hollywood Brown expects to play as well. I have Emmanuel Sanders is likely out for the moment, just because it's a decision you're going to have to make later on. And then you have so few options unless you go pick up Debo or Kendrick Bourne or Andy Isabella or whoever it is. Just you probably have better options. Duke Williams and Devin Funchess unlikely to be active. Out. Brendan Cooks, T.Y. Hilton, A.J. Green, Adam Thielen, Paris Gamboul, Deshaun Jackson, Paul Richardson not playing for the Skins this week, Elshon Jeffrey not playing for the Eagles, and Will Fuller is out with that hamstring injury. I did move Stills up. Still a tougher matchup, though. We joked for like the first 7 weeks of the season that the Ravens defense wasn't any good. It seems like it's gotten better now that everyone's kind of healthy and they traded for Marcus Peters.
Essentially they got I don't want to inflate Marcus Peters too much, but they got 2 with him and Jimmy Smith coming back, they overhauled their secondary. It's just that simple. Because they already had Marlon Humphreys has been one of the better cornerbacks in all of football so far this season. So they have 3 reputable cornerbacks. They have a decent pass rush. That's really all you need.
Oh, there's a guy making fun of my haircut in the chat.
Oh,
Ban him.
I am. Banned for life. He can go fuck himself. That's what he can do for the rest of his Sunday morning. Yeah, I went in. I forgot how short a 4 was on the top. So I usually get 2 on the side. I get them to trim it down. My hair was getting long, and I just started getting pissed off. In fact, I had to wash my hair and put stuff in it every day. I was like, oh, let's get it short. Then I walked back from the barber's, and it was minus
Too cold?
15 degrees. And I was like, oh, God, this is a huge mistake.
Best time of the year, really. Nice and clear and cold.
Yeah, but you don't go outside.
That's not true. I go outside sometimes.
To go to your car?
he's got to walk to the mall. Or
I
walk
was
to his car
outside
so he can
last
drive
night.
to the mall.
I went out to a Christmas parade last night and stood outside.
You went to a Christmas parade? Why?
I did. I went to a nice dinner and then I went to a Christmas parade.
Ooh, what was your nice dinner?
Yeah, I'm curious to hear about this.
I went to the Keg.
That's an okay dinner.
It was fantastic.
I can see that being Tim's version of the nicest to dinner, though.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh, really? It's not good enough on your list, apparently?
no, look, I'm low rent. I don't run from that fact, but I know I'm low rent. I know the Keg for me is high living. But I'm aware there's other things out there that would kick its ass.
Yeah, when you're fancy Pat. The Keg's all right if you just want a quick lunch or something like that. Place like that. A fancy.
Well, we didn't all grow up in the aristocracy, apparently, with our catered lunches and our soft ways.
I mean, you should really know the difference between high end and not high end.
I
Keg
think
lower middle end.
I know. It's high end.
It's not high end. It's a chain steakhouse.
It was
That's
delicious.
that's the lower end of chain steakhouses.
No, they did this thing
It is,
with the
that is,
potato.
it is
above,
the affordable steakhouse.
It's above
Yeah.
Outback, but below Ruth Chris.
But it's the, if you want to get dressed up semi-casual, which means jeans and a tie, and go feel like you're going to a steakhouse, but not really going to a steakhouse.
If you dress up to go to the Keg, you're low.
I can see that.
That's just basically what we're throwing out there. Jacoby Brissett gonna play at quarterback. Matt Stafford not going to play for the Lions. What?
That game is now essentially done. The Lions are unplayable. Every Lion is unplayable.
Untrue.
Stafford is a great player, and Driscoll's a terrible player.
Lions fans are very upset about how you talk about the Lions now that they don't.
Next
have the
year, they could
quarterback.
very well be a division champion, Super Bowl contender. I think Stafford's got that kind of talent, and I think this team had that kind of potential this year. But Stafford's injury and bad luck sort of threw them off track. I have real belief in this team starting next year.
Love Jeff Driscoll this week. He is I've only played the one prop so far that I'm in on. We'll get to props here in a second. But Jeff Driscoll over 16.5 rushing yards. Guy likes to run.
That's such an outlandish.
Well,
bet.
when your other option
Why
is
is
Jeff
that?
Driscoll
Why is that
throwing
an
the ball.
outlandish bet?
That's more outlandish than remember from The Favorite when they were betting on those duck races? That's essentially what you were betting on right now. Just a complete random chance.
He had 37 rushing yards last week, and I'm going to assume that when he started games for the Bengals, he had more than 17 rushing yards in most of his starts.
Let's see. He started how many games last year? I'll look this up right now. So he went over in that in the first game. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games last year. He went over it in 4 of them.
5 for 7 seems pretty good.
Yeah. There's a couple of those on the board this week. And if they're going to be down in this game, it's one of these situations where instead of throwing check down passes, he's just going to run. And it only takes one big run against a prevent D, and all of a sudden you have that covered. It's the Gardner Minshew effect. Because Gardner kept hitting all these overs in the rushing props every single week. And there was no designed runs for him. Just stuff would break down in the course of the game, and just all of a sudden he'd take off for 20 yards, and there's your over. So I really like that one. I think he's a good DraftKings play this week too. $4,600.
It's exceedingly cheap.
You want to save some money? That's who you go with.
You playing him on an island or?
I played him once with Galladay, but mostly I played him on an island. I played Zeke coming back with him.
Do you have any interest in Hawkinson?
No.
Yeah, neither do I.
He could catch 3 touchdowns. He could catch 0 passes. He's turned into one of those guys. Brissett for the Colts, though, with him back, there was so much Eric Ebron last week. Eric Ebron shaping up to be one of the chalkier plays. In your season long, you start Eric Ebron and Jack Doyle because there are so few tight end options. Mm-hmm. But do you think it was a Hoyer thing with Ebron?
I don't necessarily think it was a Hoyer thing. I mean, they just don't really have that many other options. Even in the game we saw, I mean, it wasn't a full game, so it's tough to really get a gauge. But in the game that T.Y. Hilton didn't play against Pittsburgh, Chester Rogers didn't catch his touchdown till Hoyer came in the game. Like, I think Indianapolis is already a team where so much of their playbook revolves around getting the ball to their tight end that when they lose T.Y. Hilton, they just kind of double down on that tendency. Pascal might get 4 to 6 targets. Maybe Rogers works his way in for 3 or 4, but I don't think either of those guys is like a high volume option.
Ebron hasn't been good all year. I know.
Now, Ebron is also someone who is not even necessarily the primary red zone target, although he did have that very strange touchdown, but not a touchdown, and it became an interception.
When they just took it away from him?
Yeah. But he dropped like 3 passes. He was incredibly inefficient with his opportunities last season, and it's not like him dropping passes is a new thing either. But we were talking about this. Like, I'm surprised people seem like they would rather play Ebron than Dwelly this week. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
I'd rather play Dwelly.
I would also rather play Dwelly.
do.
I think that Doyle might be the one who gets overlooked in all of this, though.
Maybe.
Like, Doyle's just going to be consistent week to week to
He's
week.
what, 4?
He's 4,000. Yeah, he's more expensive. I just mean like season long. I think with Brissett back, I think I'd play Doyle over Ebron.
I would too.
I mean, after last week, what could I know about predicting tight ends to have good weeks in fantasy? Oh, wait.
I like that he continues to bring this up, and it cost me a fantasy week, which really sucks. But
Were you going against Rudolph or something?
I was, yeah. Stoylov had a whole bunch of buys, the best team in our league. He played Rudolph. He scored like 25 points. It sucked. Tim also said bench Lamar Jackson.
Oh, I was wrong about that.
Okay, so
No. I didn't say bench. I just said I wasn't going to play them on DraftKings.
No, you said play Jared Goff over Lamar Jackson. Quote from you. And then,
Yeah, I said that.
and then Garion tried to bet you, and you said no.
Oh, yeah. Damn.
Well, there you go. I mean, listen, like I said,
That,
I get
that
them wrong,
actually
too.
might be the worst call of the year on the show.
Oh, please. I get that. I hear that so often.
How many points did Goff score
That's
last week?
not a compliment.
Not many. He's going to have a good night tonight, though. I mean, it doesn't matter for DK, but he's going to have a good night tonight.
I mean, it does if you play
Well, if you play
Showdown.
a showdown slate, sure. I would make him my captain on showdown.
Goff?
Yeah, I think the Rams are going to have a big night.
Why do you think that Goff is good?
I don't know, man. I mean, I watched him last year.
I don't know, man.
There were stretches last season where he just ripped teams apart, and I cannot efface that from my memory. When he just went up and down the field so many times last year.
Well, they don't have an offensive line anymore. And
But it's still there. Like, I still think he's got it. All the players are still there.
No, but I think you have
They're
to...
not, though. That's the entire thing. They're not.
The offensive line is
Outside of
gone.
Brooks.
Brandon Cooks is gone. That's
people,
tough.
And people are now hip to what they're up to.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
He really hasn't been good since like week 12 last year.
It's a problem, but I still believe in him.
Maybe
And
he'd
if
be
that ship goes down, I'm going down with it.
Well, it's almost submerged at this point. Likely in. So 2 guys Goff should have tonight. Everett and Higbee both going to play. Dawson Knox expected to play for the Bills as well. Any word on Matt Lacoste?
Let me check that for you.
I'm not sure whether he's going to play or not, because if not, like Ben Watson becomes an okay play, I suppose. So I have Kittle, Hewerman, and Lacoste as out, or likely out, and then officially out, Austin Hooper, Chris Herndon, Adam Shaheen, Trey Burton placed on injured reserve. Good signing by the Bears, by the way.
Really worked out.
And Vernon Davis is going to miss his 11 billionth straight game with a concussion problem. Turns out if you have a concussion and you're on the Redskins, you're just out for life. Have to retire, probably.
Probably good call.
So I guess the pickups. Would you rather play Fells or Dwelly? I think I'd go with
Dwelly.
Fells.
Fells. I just want pieces of that game.
Yeah. If you had to rank the pieces in that game, quarterbacks aside, what are they?
Deshaun.
Quarterbacks aside.
Oh, sorry. DeAndre. DeAndre.
Don't say it.
Don't say what. Probably Andrews.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where would Hollywood Brown come in? I don't know what to do with them.
Yeah. Maybe number 3.
Really?
I mean, what are other options here? We got Duke,
Stills, Fells, Duke.
the running backs.
I don't think you want to play any running backs.
That's the thing.
against
I
Houston.
don't want to play these running backs.
The props in that game, like the over-unders for rushing props on. What about Hyde? What about Hyde as an alternative to Brian Hill?
I would rather just play Brian Hill.
I think the problem I run into with Hyde is just Baltimore has been the most efficient offense in all of football. I think very easily we could see Houston fall into a negative script here. And that's why we kind of like Duke Johnson, right? It just seems like it's more of a Duke Johnson inclined game. Yeah, I just don't think this is a good Hyde week. Yeah, Hollywood. I think Brown comes in at number 3.
If you had to play Lamar or Deshaun, which one would it be?
Lamar.
Lamar? Always Lamar?
Always Lamar.
I would play Watson this week.
How come?
Saves $900, I'm going to assume.
Save $900. He has Hopkins. I think Watson's gonna have a big game. I like the Ravens to lose the game.
Really?
So
Surprising.
yeah, I think Houston
Houston
wins.
Okay.
I mean, I think listen, Watson is every bit the candidate for MVP that Jackson obviously right now Wilson's the favorite, but nevertheless, I think this is Watson's big opportunity to put himself right there in either first or second place with a huge game against Jackson. So I think it's going to be a huge game.
Do you have your Super 7 open for the week?
Yes. I don't have it open, but I've got my chat in front of me, so yes.
You have your chat. So when we had the discussion about you not being on chat while we were doing the show, you just decided to disregard that again for the 11th straight week?
Perhaps I figured out a way to disable the sound.
Did you?
Like to know my Super 7 or...
Yeah. Give me your Super 7.
Jaguars, Cowboys, Saints, Jets, Raiders, Rams, Cardinals.
Oh, he did. I sent him a... Oh, there it is.
Yep. I knew.
Yeah.
I figured that's what you were doing.
You definitely didn't mute it there, pal.
Damn, I should have known you were going to test me on that.
Curses. Foiled again.
So my Super 7, I have Carolina -5.5 because that's all these lines are locked in on Wednesday. Indianapolis -2.5, Denver +10.5, Cincinnati +10.5, Houston +4, Tampa Bay +5.5, and Washington with the lock -1.
That's awful. We made Dallas our lock. I wanted the Jets, but I don't make these picks all by myself. So
I wanted the Jets. Jets are going to lose, pal.
I think you have all your work cut out for you to find a way that Dwayne Haskins beats the Jets. But anyway, go ahead. He's looked bad in every.
Ryan Tannehill did.
Yeah, the Jets are terrible. Don't forget that.
They're much better than Washington.
Are they? Garion, who's a better quarterback, Darnold or Haskins? I say Haskins.
It's Darnold.
Are we sure? Because you know
Darnold
what? You had more
played
bad
great last
games.
Darnold played great last week.
Yeah, but that's only because Dwayne Haskins has only played 3 games, and all 3 have been bad. He's looked terrible.
He's all right. They're just going to run.
Now, in his defense, he has
That's also
nobody.
true.
He has score in McLaurin.
One receiver does not an offense make.
I mean, but there's no one good on the Jets.
Yeah, well, you'll see.
I will. So you're still predicting that the Redskins get shut out?
I picked a score of 21-0. I stand by that.
So the public is in line with Tim here. This game opened at 1.5 for the Skins. And still right now, over 80% of the money is on the Jets, and the line continues to move towards the Redskins. This is the reverse line movement game of the week. We saw this Thursday night. The world bet the Steelers, and guess what? They didn't cover or even win that game. So I think you just blindly trust the Redskins here.
Yeah, look,
-2,
if I'm
man.
picking this game, I'm picking the Redskins. I would maybe advise to just not pick this game, because if you don't pick this game, you don't have to watch any of this game, and that
I'll
might
be
be
watching
best for
so
everyone's
much of this
mental health.
game.
I know you will, and it's concerning.
No, it was great last week when the Jets won the Battle of New York and get to be the preeminent New York franchise for the next 4 years. Like, I had to watch it for that. Matter.
Jets win the toilet bowl. Cost all about it.
Well, but if we win this week, we're 3-7, and then Oakland's a loss next week, so that's 8. Then we have the Bengals, and we have the Dolphins, and we have and the Steelers look like.
I feel like I need to sell sort of as like a door-to-door Mormon would. I should sell you on like Knicks fandom. It seems like it has all the elements of fandom that you love. Just being duped every year. And New York.
And especially in basketball, it could be like week to week, game to game, day
Oh,
to
yeah.
day.
You stress out 4 different times a week.
Do they have Markeith or Marcus Morris?
They have Marcus Morris.
Who's like their best player?
Yeah, him or Julius Randle.
Sweet.
Or RJ Barrett.
There we go.
Yeah.
I like Julius Randle in college. He never been the star I thought he was going to be.
Well, he broke his leg 6
Well, yeah,
minutes
he
into
did.
his NBA career.
He did.
That was a
But he
tough
never-
one.
So the most lopsided games in terms of money this week. The Cowboys side of the game. That's why I'm staying away from that one.
Sure.
Just everyone is betting Dallas. I get it. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I understand it entirely.
That's up to 7 now. But at least that's moving. That spread is getting bigger, which is what you would want to see if you do like that side of the game. The Saints are the popular side of that game, but the line keeps going towards Tampa Bay. So that one's tricky. The Panthers and Falcons is like 50-50. Everyone's betting the Jags. Jags over the Colts, but that game has kind of gone towards the Jags.
I do like the Saints.
You like the Saints?
I don't mind Foles and DraftKings. I think that's an interesting little play.
I like the over in that game. Probably
Really?
more than I like the Saints, but
You could connect
the
Chark
last-
and you
You're now talking about 2 separate games.
said the Jaguars.
and we started talking about the Saints.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I wasn't talking about the Saints.
You are correct. You were not talking about the Saints. Sorry, go ahead with your Chark nonsense.
That's really all I had to say. Go ahead. I'm going to get a DC. You guys go ahead and chat about the Saints.
No, I was just going to say, the last 6 times under Sean Payton, they've had a 2-touchdown loss they've covered the next week. Just seems like they're going to bounce back.
This is always a tricky game, though. Breeze at Tampa Bay historically underperforms.
Does not do well. Yes, I would agree with that assessment. But I don't know. I just think they rebound here. I have so little faith in this Tampa team.
Yeah, I picked New
If
Orleans.
the Saints don't beat them, they'll beat themselves.
I mean,
Just kinda how it
but this
works.
isn't. This game's not a pick 'em. There's a spread
No,
attached to it.
it's 5 points. I understand that.
It's actually 4.5 now.
Is it down to 4.5?
Yeah, the line's going towards Tampa.
Like it more.
I don't like it. I'd stay away from that. The one I really do like is Broncos Vikings. All the money on the Vikings. Line keeps moving towards the Broncos. This just feels like run from both sides.
Yeah, I mean, is it still 10? Has it moved?
It was from 10.5. It's down to 10. It may have moved to 9.5.
Okay. But, I mean, that swing point could be pretty big. It feels like we just saw this game with Minnesota. We just saw this happen when they played the Redskins, and it finished 19-9. So, yes, I think you could have the argument that the Vikings will just be more efficient with their red zone opportunities this week. They're actually, for the season, relatively good at scoring and converting red zone opportunities into touchdowns. But, I don't know. The Broncos have a relatively good defense. It just feels like no one's going to score in that game.
Yeah, that's
Ever.
yeah.
It's a big line.
20-10, something like that.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, if it's 17-10, Broncos cover.
Yeah.
Maybe they get a fluky Noah Fant touchdown.
And I think even in that game against the Redskins, they were up 10 with and they got the ball with almost 7-8 minutes left.
They would have
And
lost that
ran
game.
Dalvin Cook down the Redskins' throat and took.
If Keenum hadn't gotten hurt in the second half, they would have lost the game.
Yeah, that's another aspect of it. I mean, Dwayne Haskins handed them the ball in the red zone twice, and they only converted it to 6 points.
Oh, he got confused on the handoff, just handed it to the Minnesota player.
Like Baker Mayfield did against the Patriots.
That's the one you're going to use? You could use the Jamal Adams example.
No, I would rather take a shot at Baker Mayfield.
Then pump up one of your own players. You would rather tear down Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, I'm at the point now where negativity is what I'm looking for.
Yeah, he's now reverse cursing the Browns. The Browns potential playoff team all of a sudden.
I've been playing with now that the ESPN NFL playoff machine is
here we
available.
go.
I've been playing with it a lot, and it is very difficult to find ways for Cleveland to make the playoffs.
But you found how many times did you find ways for the Jets to make the playoffs?
Whatever.
So a team with 2 fewer wins, they're gonna make the playoffs.
No,
The Browns
the Bills
don't have a chance.
The Steelers and Bills make it almost every time, or the Raiders and Bills, make it almost every time.
What happens if the
The
Jets beat the
Steelers
Raiders?
have a really easy schedule.
The Browns
Yeah,
have a
but
really easy
Steelers-
schedule.
I guess the Raiders also have a very easy schedule.
That loss for the Steelers, that loss for the Steelers does not help.
Well, they're also
play
a
the Bills
bad
in a couple-
team, so
They play the Bills in a couple of weeks. Like that game will be huge for tiebreaker purposes.
you're not wrong.
How about Bills Dolphins?
How about it?
Jeff,
I'm telling you, I've deluded myself into liking Kalen Balazs this week,
They're
and
gonna win this. The
it makes
Dolphins
me
are gonna win
physically
this.
ill.
The
It
Dolphins.
doesn't,
are gonna
it doesn't
win
matter
this.
anymore. It doesn't matter anymore. Tua
Yes,
is dead.
Tim, keep going.
Tua
They
is
are gonna
dead.
win.
Nothing matters.
Tell me I have no chance.
I'm not going to say you have no chance because I mean they could end up fluking into this, but I think the Dolphins are playing.
Wait, you
darn
think
good
if the
football.
Bills beat the Dolphins, it's a fluke?
I think the Dolphins have. Well, I don't think. I know they've covered 5 straight games, and the Bills have looked shaky. I think these are 2 teams that are far closer to even than 7 points apart on the road.
Look, DVOA would agree with you. DVOA has been calling the Bills a sham for the better part of the last
So
5
don't be
weeks.
surprised. So yeah, the Bills could win the game, win by 3. I don't think covering's on the cards unless the Dolphins like completely self-destruct. I think, yeah, I love Miami this week. I think you should be on the fish. I mean, you're getting points at home in division with a team that struggled at Orchard Park to beat them as it was.
I don't. In terms of actual DFS plays,
I got
Again,
nowhere.
I like-
Singletary.
I like Kalen Ballage. I do. I'm going to die on this hill, and I will die. Believe
I cannot recommend this.
me. I will
play.
die. I'm
What
going to
about
be playing
Frank
Kalen
Gore
Ballage this week.
revenge? What about Frank Gore revenge?
I wouldn't be getting too into that. Look, Frank Gore, the script we saw for Frank Gore last week is probably the best case scenario you're going to see from Frank Gore the rest of the season if Singletary's going to play this allotment of snaps.
I agree.
What did he score last week? 9 points?
Who? Singletary or
No,
Gore?
Gore with the touchdown. He still only got to
Did
like.
he score a touchdown? I thought Josh Allen stole it.
Oh, was he? Did they rule
Allen
it and then
did.
take it away?
Yeah.
Oh, then even better. I guess John Brown. You could think about playing.
Yeah, John Brown's
He's like
always
6'4".
Yeah, he's too expensive.
Yeah, I think it's the most expensive he's been all season.
I
Like, you
don't
can't
despise-
play Devontae against this Bills defense.
You can play
It just doesn't
Gesicki.
work.
You could definitely play Gesicki.
I mean, it's fine.
Like who?
If you want like
does,
6 points.
But does Gesicki even outscore Dawson Knox? Like that's like a
Yeah.
50-50 proposition.
I think.
and
he's
like,
probably-
and again, if you're paying for Gesicki, just pay $200 less for Dwelly.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm with
there's no
you, but if
reason
you
to use him.
But if you think the whole world is going to be on Dwelly, well, then you could shake it the other way.
Also, Ryan
or you could-
Fitzpatrick has a weird sort of tendency all of a sudden to just be Josh Allen when the Dolphins get in the red zone. And all the touchdowns they score seem to be Ryan Fitzpatrick rushing touchdowns because his beard looks majestic in the wind. So, also, you can't fully get revenge unless you're the one scoring the touchdown.
That's true.
So,
And he has revenge against every team. That's why he's
Every
scoring all these
single team.
touchdowns. Texans and Ravens, the money is split in that game. That makes a lot of sense. I took the Texans +4, but it's
I like
me.
the Ravens.
Okay. Cardinals and 49ers, money's on the Cardinals.
How couldn't it be, man? The Niners don't have anybody playing other than Garoppolo and Rock Me Amadeus Mozart. Like, that's all you've got. I just don't. I don't love the.
I don't know, but Tevin Coleman is playing. He's a guy.
I think the
Also,
Cardinals
Sanders
could-
seems like he's going to play. Like, you have to
Cardinals
deal with
could
it
legit
differently.
The Cardinals could legit win this game. They almost did 2 weeks ago. They could again.
I like the Niners.
I also like the
Minus
Niners.
10. I just, now back at home, coming off a loss, we just saw the blueprint of this game, and the only reason that Arizona covered that game at home, it wasn't close. It was just a long Andy Isabella touchdown at the end of the game.
Remember the Feinberg rule. This is a team that played overtime on a short week. If you're the Niners, that's an automatic.
Look, that's concerning, but I still think when you look at that game against Seattle, and granted, Seattle shot themselves in the foot a couple different times to keep San Francisco in that game, but if there's one thing we just know San Francisco can do, it's get incredible amounts of pressure on the quarterback. And we've seen it before with Kyler Murray and this Cardinals offensive line. Like 6-7 sacks is on the table here. Just the Cardinals being in 2nd and 17 to start every drive is on the table. Now it's possible. It seems like you can run on this Niners defense, and maybe that's what the Cardinals choose to do. Maybe Kenyon Drake is like a sneaky good play this week, but
It's just too many
don't
points in
have a lot of
division, I
faith
think.
in the Cardinals.
There's too many points in division, I think.
I would rather take the Bengals +11.5 than take the Cardinals +10.
I wouldn't.
I could see that.
I expect the Raiders
Backdoor
to win.
cover very much in play.
Who
in
are
this
the Raiders
Bengals
blowing
game.
out? Honestly. And
Teams that have no incentive to play well and don't have much talent.
But they don't blow anyone out, is the answer to that question.
Yeah.
It's no one.
They haven't really had a chance to play a lot of really bad teams.
And like people are lining up to bet Oakland -11.5 this week.
Oakland's a well-coached team coming off a mini bye. The Bengals are a very talent-poor team playing on the road in a very difficult place to play football in the best of conditions. I cannot back the Bengals here. It wouldn't shock me if they backdoor covered, I suppose.
This
But
is
I
great news because Tim picks the Bengals every week,
Not
seems
this
like
week.
something
and
you
now
do.
he's out. So this is the time to get on the
They're playing the
Bengals.
Raiders, who I also pick every week.
That is a good point. He has loved the Raiders all season.
And he also has loved the Raiders for the past 3 years as well.
Sure.
He's just in on the Raiders.
Yeah.
Patriots Eagles this is now 4 from 3.5. All the money's still on the Patriots.
What happened the last time these teams played? I can't remember. Oh, right. The Patriots lost the Super Bowl. Anyway, big revenge coming. Patriots win by 7.
I took the Eagles here just because I'm trying to make up games
Sure.
in the Super 7. But I don't know how they do it, but I think they can cover the 4.
I mean, look,
I don't know where the path is, though.
There are weeks where they just seem sort of competent, and I don't know how it happens. And there are games I watch the Eagles, and I'm mystified how they ever score a touchdown. So, look, I think they still have the potential to move the ball on offense. I think we found out last week. Again, the Ravens have been the best offense in football by almost every single metric. So, when I say this, I'm not saying that the Patriots have a poor defense or even a average defense. They still have a great defense. But clearly when you have to face a professional NFL team, you're not going to score 3 defensive touchdowns a game. That is something we found out. The Eagles could get pressure on Brady. That's really the formula for them to win is the formula that we thought they were going to need to employ in the Super Bowl, which they didn't actually until the final play of the game. They've got to get pressure on Brady. But I just think Brady picks them apart.
Yeah,
Right?
so do I. They've had a week off. But I don't know what Belichick. I should have looked this up if I was being prepared. But Belichick's record is coming off a bye, but I suspect it's quite a good one.
I was going to say, when was the last time the Patriots lost consecutive games?
Last year, they lost to the Lions and the Jaguars back to back.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Patriots D, $3,500. I've used them in a couple lineups. It's
a
just
fair price.
It's just weird that they're by far the best fantasy defense so far this season. Like, no one wants to use them this week.
They've probably been the most frequent slate breaker all season.
Oh, that means I like them.
Leave your DraftKings handle, get in the draw for 20 DK bucks.
Yeah, I mean, what is the defense that everyone's going to be using this week? Vikings?
Jets.
A lot of people are using Cardinals because they're $1,500.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, people are betting the Cardinals. Tim thinks they can win. Their defense is $1,500. Everything is just shaping up for them to lose like 50-0.
What is the I just feel like last week, especially since DraftKings went to this format where defenses can be less than 2K, we focused so much on those particular defenses and saving money. And it seemed like last week, I know for me, I was far too underweight in retrospect on a Ravens defense that was just playing a terrible Bengals team. Is there a defense at the top end here where it's just it should be obvious that we should be playing them? I just don't feel like there's any defense I'm itching to spend that much money on.
Well, it's good because if the Steelers had been on this slate, I would have used a ton of Steelers.
It would have been them. That's true.
So that worked out well for me. Defense right now, I'm on fansharesports.com. If you want to discount to fansharesports.com, use promo code PME. Get yourself in. Saints D.
Yeah,
Saints D, Cardinals D, Raiders D are the ones that people are paying up for.
Okay.
Well, not Cardinals.
Or not even paying up necessarily. I mean, Saints are only 2.9.
I like the Panthers D. I like the Skins D.
No, please. Sam's going to... It's one of my favorite props of the week we talk about is Sam's props this week. Big game.
Oh, boy.
Don't bet against Super Bowl Sam in a game against the NFC.
You can't call him Super Bowl Sam.
After watching the Thursday night game, like, I really get why people like playing with Baker Mayfield so much. Like, he gets so fired up.
Oh yeah,
and, like, it would be fun to play with him because he's super excited. He has a touch. Shut the fuck up. He has a bunch of, like, you watch him, like, he's just hanging like on the touchdown. They're just waiting to see what the call is going to be. And then he's all fired up. Imagine playing for low energy Sam, being like, ugh. Like, I go sit on the sidelines. I'm tired from standing.
Depression is a hard battle, Pat.
Well, I don't even think he's depressed. I just think he has low energy. Because he might have diabetes. By the look
So
at him.
he's the opposite of Nick Foles?
Yeah.
He's got small Nick energy?
Yeah, he has small Sam energy. Instead of big dick energy.
You can criticize all you want, but it'll do you no good. He played great.
Really, it will do me no good? Yeah, he's been fucking great, Tim. He's awesome.
He's played a couple of fantastic games this year, and this is setting up to be another one.
Oh, I can't wait for them to lose. It'll be so exciting.
Won't happen.
If they win, Tim being like, the Redskins are actually really good, and the Jets killed them.
He's not going to have time to say any of that because if the Jets win, he's going to be back on the ESPN playoff machine. He's formulating scenarios.
Oh, man.
I wish I had that jersey on today.
Yeah, shout out to the viewer who got Tim a Sam Darnold jersey.
Yeah.
Actually, he didn't get it for him. He won a Sam Darnold jersey that he didn't want. He sent it.
Well, I appreciate it nonetheless.
Imagine wearing a Sam Darnold jersey.
Do you not have a Darnold jersey yet?
I do not.
That's surprising.
He just taped over Favre on the back of his Jets jersey. Tim has a Favre Jets jersey.
Oh, my girlfriend unironically called Brett Favre.
Oh, really?
This week. It was great. It was
That's amazing.
Really, something made me really happy.
Are you dating one of the Farrelly brothers?
I was gonna say, I am.
Is it the one who wrote Green Book or the other one?
I think that was Peter.
That was
right?
Peter Farrelly.
I think so.
Props. Let's get to these. So I mentioned I like Driscoll over 16.5. That's the only one I've played so far. The other few that are on here, and again, if you want to parlay them, at least on the book that I use, you have to do them from separate games. So I have a couple of ones from the same game clumped together. But I like Duke Johnson over 2.5 catches. I like Zach Pascal over 3.5 catches. I think I'm going to play those three. The other ones that I'm looking at from the same games, I could go McLaurin over 63.5 receiving yards, or Demaryius Thomas over 39.5 receiving yards, which he has done in 6 of 7
I
games.
was gonna say there's a lot of props that I sort of like in that game. Even Ryan Griffin over 2.5 catches is plus
That seems
money.
trappy because it's plus money too.
Yeah, it just feels like, I mean, he's played like 99% of their snaps when Herndon's been out the last couple of weeks. Anyway,
I think I like Demaryius the best of that one.
sure, I think Demaryius is fine.
So the other ones, from the Bengals and Raiders game, you can have Hunter Renfrow over 35.5 receiving yards, which seems incredibly low for a game they're projected to score so many points in. And then Auden Tate over 45.5 receiving yards.
That seems low. I was also going to say Ryan Finley's yardage prop is exceedingly low. It's only 219.5 yards.
Yeah, he might run the entire time.
Possible.
And the other one from the Tampa Saints game, you can have Ronald Jones over 2.5 catches. And just pray.
You're just in on Ronald Jones catching the ball now, eh?
Oh, just if last week's not an aberration, then they're going to pass to him 9 times in this game.
9 times.
Ronald Jones under 42.5 rushing yards. Which one of those do you like better? Tim's over there cracking himself up.
I can do it 9 times.
Or from that game, Alvin Kamara at plus money over 5.5 catches, which he has done in each of his past 3 starts. And toughest run D in the league.
Oh, I kind of like Kamara. I really, maybe just Ronald Jones. Three seems like a very small number, but
He's got over that number once, and that was last week.
sure. Man, Kamara 5.5. That's nice.
I think I like Kamara.
Sure. When in doubt, maybe just bet on the better player. Seems like a decent strategy.
Do you like Renfrow or Tate better? Or is that just a no
I like
play?
Tate.
You like
Hey,
Tate?
but I have an even better prop in that game.
All right, well, hit me with your better prop in that game.
You're getting plus 135 to take the over in sacks of 5.5. Love it. That's going to happen.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I do.
Two teams with no pass rush?
2 quarterbacks who are very apt to get sacked.
I don't think Derek Carr gets sacked very much anymore.
He's almost never sacked.
Okay.
Their
well,
offensive
then
line has been one of the best pass blocking offensive lines.
I
in the
actually
NFL
have a
this season.
4-game sort of like, or a 4 prop parlay. That's 23 to 1 if you bet it.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Paul?
Just want to update the fans out there that the Cincinnati Bengals have recorded 1 sack in the last 3 weeks. So
Seems
you're
like
gonna have to
pertinent
rely.
information.
You're gonna have to rely on the Oakland side to get to that 6.
Well, they count just as much as Bengals sacks do in that game.
Look, they looked
For
perfectly
sure, but
fine
they
last week, which
probably
is I
need
know
6.
what you're basing this on is only last week. But you have to also remember the Chargers were missing both offensive tackles in that game, which seems like it correlates to why the
Yeah,
Raiders were
I
able to get
forgot
so
that
many
the-
sacks.
I forgot that the Bengals have the Cowboys line for this game. They're all going to dress up in orange and black. Sorry. My mistake.
So what's your prop parlay?
So you connect the over in Bengals, Raiders, and sacks of 5.5. Under Mitchell Trubisky passing yards of 210 and a hook. Under Dwayne Haskins passing yards, 178, and a hook. And Miami Dolphins to win the first half, plus 205. That is undoubtedly free money.
Haskins running train on him.
Should we just play Dwayne Haskins on DraftKings?
No.
Tim is taking his betting his under, claiming they're going to be shut out.
No, just play Score and McLaurin, and you're basically playing Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah,
You mean not scoring McLaurin?
Oh, clever. Clever
that-
girl.
That's a pretty good nickname, Tim.
Honestly-
You win nickname roulette for scoring McLaurin.
I can't wait till we win this game. It'll feel like this is the kind of a game that a good team has to beat a really, really bad team.
Yeah, but the Jets aren't a good team. They're a shitty team.
No, they need to prove that they're like a middle of the road team. This is the type of game.
This proves that beating the Redskins would prove they're a middle of the road team.
I do think so. Yes, on the road. I think it would.
I don't understand why, just as someone who is a fan of a similar team, why are you cheering for the Jets to win these games?
Because I get 16 a year, and I want my team to win as many games as possible. Because I feel good after a win, and I feel sick after a loss.
Man, I felt so incredibly sick when the Dolphins beat the Colts last week. I was so upset.
Yeah, because the whole point is you're banking the wins for next year with all these losses by getting the good
Well,
players.
to be fair,
Tim
I will say
Tim is very satisfied for 4 wins a year.
I have to say, I come by it honestly because the other evening my father was going through the Dolphins schedule as a Dolphins fan, saying, if we can win that game and that game, that's 9 wins.
God.
There's too many possible wins on this schedule. They've got to face the Giants and the Bengals still.
And the Jets.
But the Jets are a middle of the road team, Gary.
That's true. They're too good.
Yeah, they're too good.
Too high class.
They're amazing.
I like our chances.
The one lineup I was telling you about,
Sure.
just because I didn't have like enough Saints or Bucks or anything, so I played one lineup that has Jameis at quarterback, Evans and Godwin,
Yep.
Kamara and Michael Thomas in it. I had to use Ryan.
I was gonna say, what does the rest of this lineup look like?
It has Ryan Griffin in it.
Sure. Yeah.
He's $2,900.
I think he's fine.
Tim, how does Ryan Griffin do today?
I don't think he does much at all. I'm not big on him today.
I'll say this: the Jets have not often been inside the 10-yard line, so this is a small sample. But Ryan Griffin has gotten 50% of their team targets when they throw passes inside the 10.
This is the Jameson Crowder you gave me away for nothing game. I think Crowder goes off, has a great game. He's Sam's guy. If Sam is playing, you need to play Crowder. It's that simple.
So wait, you're putting Jameson Crowder in your must-play every week basket with
Not
James
every
White
week.
and well, you said if Sam's playing, you play Jameson Crowder. That simple. So either you're suggesting that Sam's going to get mono again, or you think you can play him every week.
You win.
Okay.
So
Yes.
the prop parlay that I've come down on here, I'm going to go with Duke Johnson over 2.5 catches, Alvin Kamara over 5.5 catches, Zach Pascal over 3.5 catches, because playing unders sucks. That's no fun.
It is.
You got to
it is
play
not
that
fun.
Dolphins
You're correct.
winning the first half prop. It won again last week. It's there.
Can you let me finish my fucking thing here?
Yes.
Or you just want to talk? You know what? You fill. We got 5 minutes here before we get to questions. Please fill 5 minutes.
Like just do impressions for 5 minutes.
Go ahead.
Please do.
No, don't talk. It's Tim's show now.
Well, I could talk like Walter Matthau for a while. He was pretty cool back in the day. I was on the original Odd Couple. I was cool.
You made it through 17 seconds.
More.
Well, I could do my W.C. Fields as well. It's very good.
That sounds like you're Christopher Walken.
They all kind of sound the same.
No, you see, Christopher Walken sounds like this.
Yeah, a little different.
Literally the same.
He pitches it up slightly more.
Yo. Walter Matthau is pretty good. I think that's top notch.
I'll be honest with you.
His Walter Matthau sounds more like Richard Nixon.
I also have very little point of reference for Walter Matthau, as it is 2019.
So you still have 4 minutes to fill, by the way.
Yeah, I get enough.
Yeah. So can you let me finish when I'm talking?
I said yes.
But you don't do that. You just constantly interrupt me. Duke Johnson, over. I'm resetting now, Gary. 2.5
Please do.
catches. Alvin Kamara, over. 5.5 receptions. Zach Pascal, over. 3.5 receptions. Demaryius Thomas, over. 39.5 receiving yards. Jeff Driscoll, over. 17.5 rushing yards. That will pay you 27-1 in the betting market. And
Sounds nice.
And I shall make that bet right now. So boom, I'm in. I'll probably play. I don't know if I'll play them all as singles. I might just play Driscoll as a single. We'll see. I'll retain my selections and jump back in a bit later on that. So besides Balaj, which ones do you like?
Well, I mentioned a couple. I just think Finley's yardage prop is a little too low. 219 seems like a very easy bar to clear for someone against this Raiders defense that allows the most passing yards per game. I'm intrigued by the Griffin one. I can see why it's trappy. I understand that. But Sam loves a good safety valve, almost as much as he loves a safety peacock.
Ooh.
So
I don't know why you have to take just a drive-by smear of the poor guy. What do you ever do to
Can you stop interrupting Garion now?
He said it to get me going.
no, that's not true. And I would actively not play that sex prop from Tim, considering playing the under, honestly. Yeah, I really like Driscoll, though. I would suggest you play that as a single.
I already played that one as a single. I think I'll make that one a bigger single, and I'll play the other ones as like just mini bets. Just play with the parlay here. So, Tim, 3 favorite props. Let's go.
Well, I did give you the props based on my parlay, right? I really love Mitchell Trubisky under 210 passing yards. I really love the Miami Dolphins to win the first half at plus 205. And I really like Haskins under 178.5 passing yards. If somehow by fluke the Redskins win the game, it'll be on the ground. It will not be in the air.
All right. That will do it for the main portion of the Pat Mayo experience. Smash that like button. We're at 154 likes at the moment. That is not enough. I will end the show in 3 minutes. That doesn't get to 300. I'm not going to take any of your questions then. But you can start loading them in right now. I want to say peace out to the audio listeners. If you want to get into a draw for 20 DK bucks, 2 ways to do so. You can tune in live to the Pat Mayo experience on Sunday morning. Smash the like button. Leave your DraftKings handle in the comment section. Not the live chat, the comment section. Tell me who the slate breaker in week 11 is going to be in the DraftKings Millionaire Maker. Also, rate, review, subscribe, download, 5 stars, something nice about the show as a review for the Pat Mayo Experience audio podcast. Boom, you're in that draw for 20 DK bucks. I'll be announcing the winners live on Monday's show, 1 p.m. Eastern time on the DraftKings YouTube channel. So, thank you all for downloading and listening. I'll see you next time. Rules of the chat, Garion, are you ready?
I am.
You say Mark Ingram, you are banned for life. I don't care if you're trying to be funny. You're still banned for life.
I mean, we don't care if you actually have a serious question about Mark Ingram.
Yeah.
You're banned for life.
You're banned for life. You ask the same question twice, you are banned for life. You ask questions about trades or pickups or waiver wire. That's for Monday. And we're doing a special trade deadline show on Tuesday with Jake Seeley anyway.
Nice.
You ask one of those questions, you're banned for life. What am I missing?
If you're answering people's questions in the chat, you are banned for life.
If you ask us about players and only use their last name, we will assume it is the worst version of that last name.
If you spam the chat, you are banned for life.
I think that's it, aside from
If you
figuring
ask
out...
4 or more players, only Pat will answer because it's too many to hear orally an answer.
That might not be like a bad thing. That might be the way to actually circumvent getting our information and our input. If you want a good answer to your question, ask about 4 or more players.
If you say anything mean about Super Bowl Sam, you're banned for life.
No,
see, that leads us to the final element of the chat, which is how many bans you get.
3. So watch what you say, because Tim's itchy with the trigger finger to ban people for life.
I'm a grumpy old man. That's why I did Walter Matthau.
He's so proud of himself. So unbelievably proud of himself.
All right, ready?
Yes.
Let's do this. First one, PPR, Jordan Matthews, Nelson Aguilar, or Alex Erickson. That's just sad.
Oh. I suppose Aguilar.
Aguilar.
I don't know how I might play Erickson.
With Finlay?
Yeah. I just don't want to play Aguilar.
This seems like it's funny. You could play Aguilar on the main slate on DraftKings as a bring back because this reeks of a 9-catch, 31-yard game from Nelson Aguilar.
You know what? Yeah, Aguilar. I will say to his credit, when on the rare occasion he has a good game, it's when Alshon's not playing.
Yeah.
So
pick 2: Allen Robinson, Hollywood Brown, or Scorin McLaurin. So I guess this is a question: do you play Allen Robinson or Hollywood Brown? Because you're playing Scorin McLaurin.
I'm gonna play Allen Robinson.
I'll play Hollywood Brown.
I would play Robinson.
Would you play Ryan Griffin to get Ezekiel Elliott, Christian McCaffrey in DK? That's barely a question.
I know what he means.
I know what he means.
Griffin, so you could fit one of those 2 guys in there.
One or both.
He should have just really asked, is Ryan Griffin viable?
Yeah, I think
Yeah, I mean,
So yeah, he's fine.
anything you have to do to get McCaffrey in your lineup.
PPR league, would you play Carr, Murray, or Goff? I think you should play Driscoll because he catches passes like we saw last week.
I would play,
good PPR points. Why would you not play Kyler Murray?
I would play Goff at home in the warmth. I think he has a big game.
You would play Goff over Kyler Murray and Derek Carr, who has the best matchup of the week.
Yeah, you just play Derek Carr here.
I play Kyler Murray because he's by far the best of these guys.
Well,
I'm playing Goff because he's by far the best of these guys.
Oh my God! Can we bet Murray versus Carr then, or Murray versus Goff then?
We can talk about it, but let's
talk about it now. Let's talk about it right now. I want to bet on it.
No.
So you don't like Jared Goff? Actually, you're just saying.
I do like Goff.
You don't. Apparently, you don't.
oh my God. You know, if Sam Darnold, if he throws for 200 passing yards and at least 1 TD today, he becomes the first quarterback to do that in 4 straight games since Ryan Fitzpatrick did it in 2015. And that makes only 2 Jets QBs that have done it in the last 15 years.
Sweet.
Brett Favre is the other.
No, Favre didn't do it. It's only Fitz right now.
Really?
Tevin Coleman, Sony Michel, or Carlos Hyde? I played Tevin Coleman.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree, but Michelle's close.
This is not a script for Michelle.
Joe, I wonder what his rushing yard prop is. I can go under in that.
If it's in the 70s, you could probably think about it.
It's definitely not in the 70s. I think they're a bit too savvy.
65?
I'm going to guess it's like 55 and a half. Total rush yards, Sony Michel, 43 and a half.
43.
They know. They know the under's going to hit. Russell Gage or Isaiah McKenzie? Gage,
yeah.
Gage for sure.
Okay. Gage.
Marvin Jones, Debo, or Ross Dwelly?
Ooh. Debo.
I'd probably just play Marv.
Marv!
Nah. I'll play Debo there.
Okay. Austin Eckler, Miles Sanders, Cortland Sutton, Tyrell Williams, Darren Waller, Hunter Henry. Pick 3. Needed at least 1 tight end. I would play Hunter Henry. I would play Cortland Sutton. And I would play Austin Eckler. Those would be my 3. Cortland Sutton, or Tyler Boyd, half-point PPR?
Sutton.
Sutton.
I'm going to play Boyd.
Who has more upside? Zach Pascal, Debo, or Auden Tate? I think Pascal does, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I think Tate does.
I think Tate has more upside.
I mean, only one of these guys is wide receiver 1 on his team.
Yeah, it's not a glowing distinction with the Colts.
I mean, you're going to take the second receiver. I like Auden Tate. You're going to take the second receiver on the Bengals?
I think I just think it's a loophole to say he's the number 1 receiver on the Colts. The number 1 receiver on the Colts is Jack Doyle, then Eric Ebron. That's just a fact.
I don't know. I think that Zach Pascal outscores both these guys this week.
I'm not even talking about scoring. If I think that both Ebron and Doyle end this game with more targets than Zach Pascal.
No, I think Zach Pascal does.
Okay.
I'll bet you lunch on it.
Sure.
Okay, there we go.
At the keg?
No, we're going for lunch after this.
Oh, that's true, right.
So it's just one of us will pick up the bill after we watch this game. Brian Hill or Ronald Jones?
Hill.
Yeah, Hill.
Panthers' run defense is bad. Don't forget that.
This is correct.
But they might be behind and not running.
This is also correct.
It's true. That's a risk.
And he doesn't catch passes.
Got one.
Got
last
one.
week.
Kenyon Barner will be catching passes for the Falcons.
Or Algie
it
Crumpler
is-
will return.
Alec Crumped.
It's encouraging, though, that last week it wasn't one of those situations where Hill had to play every snap because no one else was active. Like, they had 2 other running backs active, and Barner only played 10 snaps.
Sure, but Barner wasn't like a part of this offense. He's now had a week to ingrain himself into this offense. Like, he was sort of like an emergency back.
And they didn't use him in emergency.
Well, he got into the game.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I think Hill plays like 60, 65% of the snap share today.
Sure, but if it's all carries, I don't think that's all that good.
Okay.
I do against it.
Let's see, 247 likes. I guess we're shutting this down. No one wants to like the episode? Well, there's going to be no episode to like.
You can get in a solid pump at the gym.
Yeah, I would get in a solid. No, I hurt my back last week. I still can't lift. It sucks.
Could run for 20 more minutes.
I don't even know if I can run. I've been doing the stairs just because I don't want to put too much pressure
No,
on
if your
it.
back is bad, do not put any strain on it. It'll only get worse.
Well, I've been off for a week now. Like, I'm going to go
I know,
test out
but
to see
you
if I
could-
can run. I'm not taking health advice from you.
I would
Give me
say
a break.
I would
Excuse
say
me,
back
I am a
pain from
doctor.
Tim is probably oh god.
Well,
He's just waiting for the moment. Yeah. When he's on a plane. And it's going to be, is there a doctor on board? And he can be like, I am, but not that kind of doctor.
Boo.
Would you go full point PPR flex play? Robert Woods, Jameson Crowder, Kenyon Drake, Damian Williams. I'd actually probably play Crowder.
I would play Crowder, but I think Woods is a big game too. So
Really? Woods is your second, not Damian Williams?
Well, let's play Jared Goff.
I guess that's
the
true.
Rams are going to have a big night. You'll see.
I'm going to play Damian Williams.
Their defense might score like 3 touchdowns.
301 likes.
Oh,
Hey.
when we got there, we'll keep the show going. D.D.
We better
Westbrook.
get to 400 soon, though.
And you're still cutting me off. Stop cutting me off.
It's been a real bad week for that.
It's outrageous.
Very triggered during the...
Well, I'm trying to
show.
read
I
something.
know.
I'm trying to look at something and read it.
I agree.
And then Tim's just talking over me the entire time.
I enjoyed that you told Jeff not to cut you off, and it lasted for one... And you made him host the show, and then immediately as you were trying to go to the next game, he cut you off again.
Yeah, so him and Tim are just the worst at this. So you're a professional.
That's loose, but yeah.
But hey, you
In
are.
comparison to Tim and Jeff, sure.
Yeah. D.D. Westbrook or Hollywood Brown?
Hollywood.
Westbrook.
I like Westbrook as well. Dorsett or Aguilar? Dorsett.
Dorset.
Scorin McLaurin or Tevin Coleman?
Coleman.
I'll take Coleman.
Yeah, Tevin.
Hollywood Brown, Diggs or Sanu? Go with
Diggs.
Diggs. The big Diggs. Terry McLaurin.
Big Diggs energy.
Terry McLaurin or Cortland Sutton? I like McLaurin by a hair.
Sutton.
Start Joe Mixon or Brian Hill? I like Mixon.
Yeah, Mixon.
Yeah, I agree.
Dak or Breeze? I think you play Dak.
Yeah.
No, this is a rare week where I'll pick Breeze.
It's a weird thing to
Would
say.
you pick Breeze or Goff?
Goff. I think Goff has.
Oh my God! Hey, but you won't bet me.
Realize that was presented to you as a joke.
I
right?
don't care. He also knew I was going to say Goff. So
I actually didn't because I thought like with Kyler Murray bad matchup. I don't get it, but
You can formulate it. In your
I can
head, sure.
formulate the argument in my head. But it's like all of a sudden he thinks that the Bears have a bad pass defense, which they don't. They have a good pass defense. And Jared Goff sucks.
And they have a great pass rush.
Yeah.
And his offensive line is quite bad.
Allen Robinson or Robert Woods? I'll play
Woods.
Allen Robinson.
Robinson.
Brian Hill or Gallup?
Brian Hill.
Yeah, I'll play Hill.
I'll play Gallup. Matt Ryan or Derek Carr? I'll play Derek Carr.
I think it is
I would
Carr.
play Matt Ryan.
This guy says, you aren't answering questions. Well, that's not a question, so you're banned for life.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy asking that stupid upside question again. You're also banned for life? I'll just ban people for the next 20 minutes.
That actually would be a lot of fun.
Sounds cathartic.
Oh, it's not bad at all. Cousins or Goff?
Cousins.
Cousins, actually.
So
What
wait,
would
is
be
Kirk
your
Cousins
quarterback
your, like,
rankings this week?
second quarterback?
No, I think the Vikings win by a ton.
So you have Cousins. You have Cousins over Goff.
Goff over everyone
Breeze,
else.
And Carr and everyone else. Like, this makes no sense. Who would you play over Cousins?
Brady. That might be it.
So he is your number 2 quarterback.
Yeah, I guess he. No.
Can I bet you
suppose
Lamar
no,
versus
no.
Cousins right now?
No. I would have to put Watson ahead of him as well.
Can I bet you Lamar versus Cousins?
No.
Can I bet you Lamar versus Goff?
No.
Round 2.
Just say, so Jared Goff is great, yet I don't. I'll give you odds on some of these guys.
No, I'm just
So
saying.
you're cowardly, is
Yeah,
what
I'll
you're
give
saying.
you 2.5. I'll give you 2.5 DK points.
Oh,
No,
spread.
no, pass.
Unbelievable.
Indeed, picture of a peacock.
Pick 2. Sammy Watkins, Cortland Sutton, Debo Samuel, or Auden Tate.
Tate,
I'd go Tate and Sutton.
Sutton,
Yeah, I would Tate and Sutton as well.
Josh Allen or Brady? Brady.
Brady.
Galladay, Allen Robinson, or Calvin Ridley? I'd go with Galladay.
Yeah.
Robinson.
Okay. Pick
Which
2.
do you like the you just to refresh my memory? You like the Mitch Trubisky under yardage prop? Right?
Yeah, I don't love a lot of it, but I mean, I think he could have like 6 or 7 catches in this game, not for a whole lot, but just I don't like those other 2 guys. I don't think anyone in Detroit's playable, and so
Okay. Pick 2. Mixon, Mack, Tyrell Williams. I'd go with Mack and Tyrell Williams.
yeah, I would. No, I'm gonna go Mixon and Mack. Yeah,
I'll go Tyrell and Mac.
Dak or Card?
Well, one of those is a real person.
Yeah, so Dak.
Dak.
Miles Sanders spelled incorrectly, or Brian Hill.
Hill.
Brian Hill.
Hill.
Coleman or Michelle? Coleman.
Coleman.
Ronald Jones or Auden Tate? I would play Auden Tate.
I'm going to play Ronald Jones.
I'll play Tate.
Dwelly, Ebron, or Ryan Griffin?
Dwelly.
Dwelly.
Pick 3. Eckler, Singletary, Colonel Mostert, or Damian Williams? I think you sit Mostert.
Yep.
Agreed.
Singletary, Sutton, or Brian Hill? Pick 2 at the first 2.
Yes.
Yep.
Lindsey or Emmanuel Sanders? I think you have to bite the bullet and just play Lindsey.
Yes. They're the running back.
Oh, this guy said, should I trade? Well, that's an instant ban for life.
See ya.
Joe Mixon, Melvin Gordon, or Mixon, Gordon, Singletary. I'm going to guess it's Melvin Gordon. So I'll say
Gordon.
Melvin Gordon.
Yep.
Oh, it says sit one, sorry.
Oh,
Sit Singletary.
yes.
Yes.
David Montgomery, Devontae Parker, Sony Michel.
Montgomery.
Parker.
Montgomery. Pick 1, Cohen, Pascal, or Aguilar. Pascal for me.
Oh, the heck with it. I'll take Aguilar.
I'll take Aguilar too.
You mean your team name in fantasy is named after Tariq Cohen, Tim?
No, I know. I need to change that name.
Yeah, why doesn't Cohen get the I need him to be good treatment?
He doesn't.
Because
Well,
I no longer- it doesn't
ever
matter
since Tim changed his team name to Tariq Cohen, he's been awful. Just like truly horrendous.
Yeah, that team's got a lot of problems.
One running back, one flex. Brian Hill, Duke Johnson, DeMarcus Robinson. Just don't play DeMarcus
Yeah,
Robinson.
you don't need to play DeMarcus.
Sam Darnold, Kyler Murray, or Derek Carr?
I'd play Carr.
I'd play Murray.
You'd play Murray, yeah.
Super Bowl Sam.
Jesus Christ.
Sam Darnold or Jared Goff?
Goff. That's not even the
Still
question,
blows
is it?
my mind. No, it's not a question. McCole Hardman or TJ Hawkincust?
Hardman.
Yeah, let's go.
I'll play Hardman as well. Mostert, Balaj, or Miles Sanders? PPR, I'd play Sanders.
Sanders.
Pick 2, Coleman, Eckler, Mack. Go Coleman and Mack.
Coleman, Eckler, Mack.
Yeah, I would bench
sit-
Eckler.
Sit Eckler.
Would you play C. McC and Goddard or Dalvin Cook and Ertz? I'd play McCaffrey.
Yep.
Yeah, McCaffrey.
This guy says, Pat, you've never looked better. I agree. That's definitely getting your question answered. Mike Williams or Raheem Mostert? I'd play Mike Williams.
I agree.
Oh, I got runny nose. It's real cold here in Toronto.
Yeah.
By the way.
Nice.
What do you mean nice? Oh, right, yeah. You're
He likes
weird.
the cold.
Yeah.
This guy who sweats in the winter. Why he likes the cold. Parker, Ridley, Beasley, or Debo? Pick 2. I go Ridley and Debo.
Yep.
Parker as well.
You can't
Parker
play
and
Parker
Debo.
today.
So you're not playing
No.
Calvin Ridley?
Nah, not particularly. We didn't pick Atlanta to cover. We think the Panthers are going to win it pretty comfortably. So
What's
Like
Parker doing against
27
Tre'Davious White?
Parker's good.
Parker's
Tre'Davious White is better.
yeah.
Devontae Parker's fine.
That's the problem. Coleman, Eckler, Mack, pick. No, this guy already asked this question. You're banned for life.
And yeah.
Galladay, Auden Tate, Philip Dorsett, Balaj, pick 2. Just play Galladay and Tate.
Yep.
I agree.
Ebron or McKissick? Ebron.
Ebron.
Jalen Richard at 42 or Brian Hill at 4,800? It's Brian Hill.
Brian Hill.
Hill.
Full point PPR. Chark, Galladay, Christian Kirk. Pick 1.
Kirk.
Chark.
Kirk for me as well. Singletary or Eckler? Eckler.
Ugh.
Eckler.
Singletary.
Did you say?
I said Eckler.
You said Eckler? Pick 2. Mixon, James White, Austin Eckler.
James White and Mixon.
Mixon and White.
I'd play Mixon and Eckler. Brian Hill or Singletary? Play Singletary.
I play
Brian Hill.
Miles Sanders or LaShawn McCoy? I think you play Miles Sanders.
Oh, one might
I
not
agree.
be active.
yeah, one
so-
might not be
Exactly.
active at all.
And it's Monday night and you can't wait.
I guess just
Yeah. Don't
don't play LaShawn McCoy
don't do
here.
it.
Debo Samuel or DJ Chark?
Chark.
Chark.
Wow.
That's a big gap between those
I
two
realize
guys.
he's had 2 off weeks, but
He's still like third in the league in receiving, isn't he?
yeah.
DJ, just that one. 2 point or pick 2. John Brown, Tyler Boyd, or Scorin McLaurin. I'll go Brown and McLaurin.
I agree.
Brown and Boyd.
Jameis or Dak? Go with Dak.
Winston.
Dak.
Brian Hill or David Montgomery? I'll go with Hill.
Hill.
Brian Hill.
Sanu or McLaurin? McLaurin.
Sanu.
Yeah, I'll go Sanu too.
Really?
Yeah.
Then why aren't you playing all the Mohamed Sanu on DraftKings?
I've got a couple of Mohamed Sanu lineups.
That. What are you trying to win with Mohamed Sanu?
He had 11 targets last week, and he's playing the Eagles.
That's great.
You like Tom Brady.
McLaurin might go for 200 yards.
The Redskins might not score a touchdown.
They're playing the Jets, Gary.
They're
playing the Jets, who are awful.
They've averaged 8 points per game the last 4 weeks, and that's a span that includes them playing the Dolphins.
Thank
They're
you,
playing
Gary.
the Jets, who are worse.
Thank you,
Jets
Gary,
defense
for
is
coming
better
to my
than-
defense.
The Jets defense is not good.
It's better than Dolphins
Actually-
defense.
The Jets defense is actually pretty good.
Is it?
It's the
That front
best
seven
aspect of their
wasn't
team.
No,
I'll
the
say
run
that.
defense is the best aspect of their game.
And they're still missing their defensive MVP. And
Well, that's probably not any good now, is it, Tim, if he's not fucking playing?
If they were playing a good team. it would-
There's a non-0% chance that Sanu has more targets in this game than Haskins has attempts.
Agreed.
They're all to McLaurin.
I don't disagree with that.
All deep downfield. And there's going to be no one able to cover him. Just throw him a
But
lob.
he might just McLaurin or not McLaurin. Haskins might just give the ball to Jamal Adams.
Oh, see, you're sleeping on McLaurin here. Lindsey or Hyde?
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Winston or Wentz? Winston.
Winston.
Crowder or Hollywood Brown? I would play Crowder.
Crowder.
Yeah, Crowder.
Eckler or McLaurin? I would play McLaurin.
Eckler.
Eckler.
Emmanuel Sanders, Zach Pascal, or Larry Fitz? Play
I
Pascal.
would just play Sanders.
Pascal.
I play Pascal. Hollywood Brown, Robert Woods, or Ronald Jones?
Oh, Robert Woods.
Jones.
I'd probably play Robert Woods. Balaj, J.D. McKissick, or Mike Williams? Mike Williams.
Balaj.
Balaj.
Geis, David Johnson, or Latavius Murray? Ooh.
Oh, my
DJ.
gracious. I guess I play Latavius Murray.
I just feel like Latavius has caught some passes, but I think he's the guy who loses out the most in this Tampa Bay matchup.
I'd probably play David Johnson.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
DJ.
an opportunity that if New Orleans is blowing them out, that the carries would all go to Latavius at the
Yeah,
end.
but I just don't think those are valuable carries. He could finish the
I
game with
agree.
15 carries
I
for
agree.
35 yards.
No, I think that's fair.
Diggs or Hardman? What kind of question is
Diggs.
that?
Ban him. That's a stupid question. Wasting
All right, see,
time.
now you're getting desperate because you
Yeah,
realize
well,
you haven't
there's
been
a
using
ban.
your bans.
Sorry, pal, you're banned for life. Tim's orders. Full point PPR, choose two. David Johnson, Auden Tate, Kenyon Drake. We're playing Drake over David Johnson, right?
Yes, we
So
are.
Tate and
Yes.
Drake. Terry McLaurin or Josh Reynolds? Go with McLaurin.
McLaurin.
Yeah, even there, I would play McLaurin.
Pick two. Brian Hill, James White, Sammy Watkins. Play the running backs.
Yep.
White, yeah, no, agreed.
Half point. Pick two. Damian Williams, Sony Michel, Mostart, Sammy Watkins. I'd play both Chiefs.
I'd play
I would
Damian
bench Watkins, and I would play.
God. You play
yeah.
Mostert over Sony?
I think I would play.
I think there's a
Sony.
conversation to be had.
Yeah, I think it's close. I would just rather play neither.
Yeah,
than play
I
the
just
other
play
two.
your Chiefs, yeah.
Mike Williams or Tyrell Williams? Tyrell Williams.
Tyrell.
Tyrell.
Dak or Winston? Dak.
Dak.
Did we already do that one?
We did, but that
I don't
that
know if
could
it's
be
the
a
same
common
guy or not. Mostart, Adrian Peterson, or Ebron? I play Ebron.
one. Ebron. Yeah.
Ebron. This is not an AP week.
Ertz or Everett? Ertz.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to say Everett.
But he's linked to the best quarterback in
I
football.
wanted to say Everett, but I just can't bring myself. I think Ertz is a good play this week.
Kyle Allen or Derek Carr? I would play Derek Carr.
Yeah. It's
Derek Carr.
Kyle Allen projects to be the highest owned quarterback on DraftKings.
That seems like a mistake.
I agree. Emmanuel Sanders or Eckler? Eckler.
Eckler.
Yeah.
Are we just taking the blanket you can't play Emmanuel Sanders this week?
I think you're either in or you're out.
I mean,
I'm
he
just saying
could,
for you.
For me,
you're,
I'm
you're
out.
just out. Yeah.
He's risky because I mean, if he plays, he could easily put up like 28 or 30 points, considering how few options they've got. Right? I mean, if he plays, he's going to have a huge game.
I think the percent chance of that happening, of not only him playing, but him playing and going off, is like 10%.
Yeah.
I get you.
Because he's
But
50-50 to play in the first place.
He's got massive upside, but he's an incredible gamble.
Yeah. Kyle Allen, Christian McCaffrey.
Okay.
What?
Kyle Allen, McCaffrey, Panthers. Oh, and Panthers D, or Brady, Drake, and Patriots. I'd play the McCaffrey side. I don't know why you have to play all the Panthers together,
Yeah.
but
Sure. If that's what you want to do.
Royce Freeman or McLaurin? McLaurin.
McLaurin.
Yeah. I can't play Royce.
He agreed.
Oh, I didn't hear. Zach Pascal or Kenny Stills? I play Zach Pascal.
I'm paying the bills.
I'm going to play Stills, yeah.
Okay. What else do we got here? Oh, this jumped on me. Calvin Ridley, Hollywood Brown, McLaurin.
I guess I'll play Hollywood Brown.
Hollywood.
Would you go with Kenny Galladay or Christian Kirk?
Kirk.
Kirk.
Kirk for me as well. This guy's banned for life.
Nice.
I'm not even going to pretend to say what his question is. Miles Sanders or Duke Johnson? I would play Duke Johnson.
I agree.
Yeah. Hi-ho Duke.
Kyler Murray or Josh Allen? I would play Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I would play Kyler Murray in that instance.
Your quarterback rankings are so weird.
Yeah. Darren Fells or loser OJ Howard? I'll take Darren Fells.
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 Christian Kirk, Darren Waller, or Jameson Crowder? I play Christian Kirk.
Crowder.
Kirk, yeah.
Brady or Josh Allen?
Brady.
Brady.
Sanders, Balaj, or Geis? Miles
Balaj.
Sanders.
Balaj.
Balaj, McKissick, or Mike Williams? We already answered
did
that
that one,
question.
yeah.
That is a ban for life. Sorry, pal. Sit one. Carlos Hyde, Sony Michel, Kenny Galladay. Sit Sony Michel.
I agree.
In that instance, yes.
Josh Allen, Rivers, or Brissett? Josh Allen.
Allen.
Rivers.
It's a fine matchup, sure.
Mexico City. Maybe a lot of throwing.
You know he wasn't out partying.
This is true. But you may have drank the water. That's the problem. You want to be out drinking.
That's true.
Next question we have: can I run Dalvin Cook and McCaffrey on the same team? I mean,
You could.
You can do whatever you want. It's your lineup.
I will say, like, it's hard to answer this question seriously, but there's a lot of value out there this week. You could do that. If you want to put Driscoll at quarterback and
In
Dwelly
Cardinals
at tight
defense?
end. Yeah, I mean, even Redskins defense.
Yeah, I like
You could do it.
Skins D. Like Paul said, Skins D everywhere. That's what you want.
Paul on a hot streak. Listen to Paul.
Gerald Everett, Darius Geis, or Ty Johnson? Probably play Everett.
Everett.
Yeah, I think he's going to be all right.
Darren Waller or Hunter Henry? I'll play Henry.
Henry.
Oh, this guy says Mark Ingram or Dwayne Bowe. Well, that's the last question he'll ever ask.
Did you have something with Dwayne Bowe?
Yeah, I think
I don't remember?
he's just looking to get banned for life.
Okay.
Yes.
Would you play Debo or Demarius Thomas? I'd actually probably play Debo, but I think it's a lot closer than people think.
Yeah, I would play Debo as well.
Sure. I just have no reservations in season long.
Foles, Darnold, or Goff?
Oh, man.
I'd actually play Darnold.
Yeah, Darnold.
No, I'm going to play Goff.
He loves Foles too. And
I do. I think I do love Foles as well. I think they're all great plays. Can't go wrong.
One of them has big dick energy, and one of them has small Sam energy. So
low energy Sam. Allen Robinson or Christian Kirk? Christian Kirk.
Kirk, yes.
Kirk.
Niners D or Dallas D? I would take Niners D.
Yep.
I would play Dallas.
Lot of sack potential.
Mostert, Rojo, or Drake? Need one.
Rojo.
I'll play Ronald Jones. Eckler, DJ Moore, or Christian Kirk? I will play DJ Moore.
Yes, DJ Moore.
Yes.
Hollywood Brown or Tyler Boyd? Tyler Boyd.
Boyd.
Brown.
Balaj or Mills? I don't know who Mills is.
Balaj.
Who's Mills?
Who is Mills?
All right, Balaj it is. Kyle Allen or Derek Carr? Derek Carr.
I agree.
Yeah.
Miles Sanders or Joe Mixon? Joe Mixon.
Mixon.
Yeah.
This guy keeps asking about Zach. He's banned for life.
Yeah.
That's an easy one. Watkins or Scorin McLaurin? Scorin McLaurin.
Yeah.
Watkins.
And it's actually the same question back to back, but from two different people. Watkins or McLaurin. So McLaurin. Kirk or Tyrell Williams? Christian Kirk.
Kirk.
Tyrell.
Carr or Winston? Winston.
Winston.
Cooper Kupp or DJ Chark?
Cup. There's no way he plays that badly again. No way.
I'll say Cup.
I'll say Kupp as well. Hill or Miles Sanders? Hill.
Hill.
Duke Johnson or Miles Sanders? Duke Johnson.
Duke.
Miles Sanders.
You answered that differently 10 minutes ago.
Yeah,
No, I didn't.
you did. Winston or Drew Brees? Winston.
Winston.
Yeah. Breeze.
It's not worth breaking down.
Singletary or David Montgomery? Singletary.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, Singletary.
David Montgomery or Raheem Mostert? David Montgomery.
Yes.
Royce Freeman or Sony Michel? Royce Freeman.
Oh, boy.
Michelle, I guess.
I'm going to go with Michelle.
Mike Williams or Dede Westbrook? Dede.
Westbrook.
Dede, yep.
Sanu with Kyle Allen or Wentz and Boyd? I'd probably just play Sanu.
Know
with
where
Kyle
Garion's going.
Sanu and
I'd
Kyle
play
Allen.
Sanu with Kyle Allen. I don't want to play Wentz against the Patriots D.
Nah.
Boyd or Woods? Boyd.
Woods.
Gurley or Brian Hill? Brian Hill.
Oh, man. I'm playing Gurley.
Brian Hill.
According to Tim, the Rams are going to score 70 points today.
I think it's a big night for them. Probably the last ever primetime game at the Coliseum.
Do you think like Jared Goff went to sleep last night being like, I have to honor the LA Coliseum?
Just saying.
I don't know what you're saying. Are you just saying it to say it?
No, I think it's a great spot. Beautiful weather. It's going to be mild and hot there. It's going to be a big game.
Paul.
Are you aware that like the Rams' offensive line is like absurdly banged up?
Yes,
It was a
but
bad offensive line to begin with.
Yeah,
have
it's,
to
like it's
understand,
really bad. Bad scene.
The Bears are terrible, and
line-
Trubisky is going to give them a lot of short fields. And I just don't want anything part of this trash Bears team that I used to believe in.
Bears 1-0
Get on the
since Tim
Bears.
gave up. Or, sorry, 1-1 since Tim gave up on them because they played the other team that he gave up on in 1 week. AP, Robbie Anderson, or Cobb? Oh God, Cobb.
I guess I'll play Anderson.
Cobb's been pretty good the last 2 weeks.
Oakland D or Kansas City D? I like Kansas City D.
Oakland D.
Oakland
like
D.
the Sacks.
Mostart? No, I don't care if he's a good fucking pickup. You're banned for life. Larry Fitz or Miles Sanders? Larry Fitz.
Sanders.
Larry Fitz.
Jimmy G or Jameis?
Jameis.
Brian Hill or Devin Singletary?
Hill.
Yeah,
Hill.
I guess Hill.
Hill, Mack, or Hyde need two. Hill and Mack.
Yes.
Yes.
Miles Sanders or Hollywood Brown?
Hollywood.
Brown.
Hollywood Brown for me as well. Bills D, Jets D, Panthers D?
Of those three,
Panthers.
Panthers?
D, yeah.
Yeah. Hyde, McLaurin, or Pascal McLaurin?
McLaurin.
Hyde.
Wentz or low energy Sam? I'll take low energy Sam.
Sam.
Super Bowl Sam.
Calvin Ridley, Curtis Samuel, Kenyon Drake, Devin Singletary, sit one. Sit Drake.
Yeah, Drake is the sit, I think.
I think I'd sit Singletary before I sat Drake.
Olsen or Andrews?
Andrews.
Andrews for certain.
Eckler or Chark?
Chark.
Chark.
Balaj or Ty Johnson? Here I will side with you on Balaj.
Balaj.
There was that other time you sided with me because the player didn't exist.
That's true. Gage or Debo Samuel?
Debo Samuel.
Dak, Kyle Allen, or Brady?
Brady.
Brian Hill or Marlon Mack? Mack. Oh, we passed the threshold. It's past the 11 o'clock hour.
5 more?
I mean, we're at 340 likes, which is highly disappointing. Thanks for fucking
better get to 400.
Nothing, you people out there. If we get to, we're going to do 5 more questions. If we get to 400, we'll do another 5. If we get to 450, we'll do another 5. How about that?
That's fair.
Very fair.
We're not going to get there.
I believe.
Mostert, Royce, or Hines? I'll play Mostert.
Yeah, Mustard.
Yeah. Mustard.
Sanu or Tyrell Williams?
I'll play Sanu.
I'm going to play Tyrell Williams.
Miles Sanders or Mostert?
Sanders.
Gurley or Hill?
Hill.
Gurley.
Pick 2. Tyreek, Sutton, McLaurin, or Moore in standard. I play Tyreek and Moore.
Yeah, Tyreek and DJ.
Yeah.
All right, that was 5. Let's refresh to see what the like situation is at. Fingers crossed? Yeah, we're not there.
Oh.
We say goodbye to the people.
I'll give it 1 more minute. How about that?
Okay.
I want to be generous here.
You are a very merciful man.
Brian Hill or Damian Williams? Hill.
Damian Williams.
Gallup or Kirk?
Kirk.
Samuel or Sanu?
Sanu.
Sanu.
Jets, Washington, Dallas, Indy, or KCD? Washington D.
I would take the Jets D.
I'm going to take the Jets D.
Duke John over like Kansas City D?
Jumbo Jets.
Imagine playing the Jets defense. They're bad. They're like the worst defense in football.
Hope that game's on TV for you.
Every game is on TV for me.
That's the beauty.
Better that than the CFL playoff game, which will also probably be on.
Were they on last week or were we misinformed?
What?
The CFL playoffs.
No, because they play that stupid fucking soccer
Yeah,
game.
but were there even CFL playoffs
I have
last
no
week?
idea.
Yeah, okay.
Yes,
here's-
there were.
Here's an awful question. Patriots D or Jets D?
Oh, okay. Well, that's
That's
just
a dumb question. Ban them.
Banned for life. Why is it a dumb question?
Because it's obvious that the Patriots D is one of the,
Okay.
it's not the best, perhaps the second best defense in all of football. You got to play them if you have that option.
Mixon or Chark?
Chark.
Sanu, Diggs, or Boyd? Diggs.
Big.
Moore or Ridley?
Moore. That's not even close.
James White or Tyrell Williams?
James White.
Tyrell. Williams. Damian Williams, Curtis Samuel, or Hollywood Brown? I'd probably play Damian
Damian.
Williams.
Damian Williams.
Goddard or Eifert? Goddard.
Eifert.
Jesus. Eifert.
He scores.
Brian Hill or DJ?
Brian Hill.
Moore?
It just says DJ.
I assume he means
Probably David Johnson.
David Johnson.
Well, and Brian Hill is spelled wrong.
Really? How do you misspell that name?
It's very, very complex.
Do you spell it Brain?
Probably.
I'll go with Brian Hill.
Brian Hill.
D.D. Westbrook or Mike Williams? D.D. Westbrook.
Didi.
Westbrook.
Gallup or McLaurin? McLaurin.
McLaurin.
Yeah.
Eckler or DJ Moore? DJ Moore.
DJ Moore.
Moore.
Last one. Pick 2. Randall Cobb, Jameson Crowder, Debo Samuel. I'd go with Samuel and Crowder.
Samuel and Crowder.
Knox or Fant?
Fant.
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 Fant for me as well. Conley, McLaurin, or Pascal? McLaurin. But this way, if you're out there and you're deciding whether or not to start or sit Terry McLaurin, I suggest you start him.
I wouldn't.
Versus, like, especially these, like, scrubs that people are asking with. Would you go with Michael Johnson or Duke Johnson? It's actually Michelle or Duke Johnson, but it's spelled Michael.
Michael Johnson.
Duke.
It just says
Michael-
Michael.
Canadian Olympic sprinter?
No,
Michael Johnson.
American Olympic sprinter.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
Michael Johnson will just pull up lame halfway to the end zone.
Brady or Winston?
Well, if
Brady.
he pulls up lame halfway through the end zone, he's already in the end zone, Tim.
Halfway to the end zone.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't all refresh to see if
Brady,
we got to the.
I guess.
I think we went. We did.
Yeah, we did.
the
We did a
10
lot
anyway.
here.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Tim, thanks for being on the line.
My pleasure. Good luck to everybody except for those of you who have Redskins on your team. I wish you the worst of luck.
Gary.
Can Walter Matthau say goodbye?
Okay, goodbye, Garion. I have to go meet Jack Lemmon up here in heaven for a game of canasta.
Jesus Christ. Follow Tim on Twitter at Tim Andercuss. You can follow Garion on Twitter at Garion Thorne. You can follow myself on the Twitter machines at the PME, same as Instagram, same as Facebook. Thank you all for watching. The Sweat on the DraftKings YouTube channel begins in about 25 minutes. You catch more Garion, get your questions answered live on the air. So go check that out. Remember to smash the like button on your way out. And if you want to get into a draw for 20 DK bucks, after you smash that like button, hit the comment section, leave your DraftKings handle, and who you think is going to be the the week 11 slate breaker on DraftKings in the Millionaire Maker, and you will be in a draw for 20 DK bucks. All right, I'm Pat Mayo. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time.